So there's this group Crew, and they are looking for ethics violations in Washington. They've done some great reporting in the past. We've got a good instance of it here. They happened to notice something interesting with hotel prices in the DC area just a couple of weeks ago at a particular hotel. On November 7th, they flagged a massive spike in the cost of a room for December 14th. So looking ahead, they noticed that it was going to be very expensive. So all of the less expensive rooms were sold out, only the suites were available. And the price was, let's just say it was jacked up a little bit, as you'll notice on this chart. Yeah, that's higher. So
for those of you listening to the podcast version, it looks like a middle finger. Like it's flipping. Every other data point on this chart is very low, except for one that I would say is roughly like 15 times higher.
I think it's 13 times.
13 times higher.
Normally prices at this particular hotel, I believe it's Trump Hotel, about $500, now over $6,700. And so that's interesting. So the minimum cost was 13 times the average, and Crew couldn't initially identify a reason for the spike until photos later surfaced of the Trump Victory Committee's winter retreat at Trump's hotel on that same night, which appears to have sold out much of the venue. While the least expensive rooms for one night stay were about $500, like we said, $6,700 right there. And so here is what is interesting about this. So you have this hotel, which apparently is generally pretty vacant on most days. Today, or that day I should say, Trump has a big event there. And so lucky donors who managed to snag a room were invited to the White House's holiday open house, meaning that the cost of a room at Trump's DC hotel and donations towards his reelection included exclusive political access for the buyer. To Trump, to Pence, Interior Secretary David Bernhardt, and there were others as well. And so what this effectively means is people go to the hotel, they donate to Trump's reelection. But in going there and in paying massively jacked up prices, like Trump knew that this was the day his big event was gonna be there and they'd want to go. So he elevated the prices by 13 times. That money doesn't go to his reelection, that just goes to him. And all of these people that want access to Donald Trump are now paying thousands and thousands of dollars straight to Trump and his family.
Right, and that's the thing is, some people would hear that and respond, well, that means he's a good businessman. Wouldn't you do the same thing? It's like, yeah, if I was just a businessman, but he's also the president of the United States. And morally and ethically, it is incumbent upon him to avoid the appearance of impropriety. And like, there's so many things that Trump has done that other presidents have not done. And the reason they haven't done it is because it would be wrong to do it. Stuff like this. Every other president has divested himself from the very things that could make him money off of his office. That is corruption. It's something that benefits him personally because he has an office that should benefit the people that elected him. That is corruption, that is what he's doing. And he is, as this chart shows, giving you the middle finger.
Exactly. And look, every president makes money to a greater or lesser extent. I mean, I don't think Carter's like raking it in or whatever. And again, peanut farm.
No, he's raking. He's raking.
He's
like
literally
leaves.
raking
he's
people's yards.
He's literally raking and building houses.
Exactly. But like, let's say Obama. So far as I know, Obama never did anything like this while he was in office, but he's certainly making money afterward. And I think a case could be made that that's still. It's not quite right, because the thing is, he's not president anymore. He doesn't have direct executive power, but you can't say he doesn't have any power. But it is obviously different than Trump, who is in office right now, is giving preferential treatment to certain corporations and certain individuals.
So that's how I would look at it. It's like, dude, just wait 8 years. Just wait 8 years and you'll get such a bump in everything. All the fakeness that you made money off of, all of that just like selling your name to put on walls, like you got it, you made it. Big check mark, you're the president of the United States, and you will make an exponentially higher amount of money after you're out of office if you play your cards right. But he doesn't play his cards right. He can't help but cheat at cards. That's what this is, and it's very frustrating.
Yeah, and look, Crew has identified other days that there's this same sort of thing happened on the 4th of July and a Senate Republican retreat in November, but this is by far the greatest. And so great work by Crew. They have more details on their website. You can see the authors there on the graphics if you want to go look at the full write-up about this. It's just insane, and any reasonable person should think, well, how could it possibly influence you, that money? It would be the same thing. Honestly, if someone were to give me a couple of pennies, that's probably a bigger percentage of my net worth.
No, John throws pennies in the trash. It's a very big point of contention here. He'll take 2 cents and he thinks he doesn't even explain it right, but he just throws it in the trash. He's like, I don't need pennies. I just outed you, dude.
I'm not the bad guy though. I feel like Trump is the bad guy.
Trump's the bad guy. I just think you should have said something that's actually true to your audience.
Okay.
Listen. To get back to the point, like they're giving him something. It's a there's $6,700 a night. A lot of that goes toward the facilities or whatever. But
no, if you jack the price up 13
that
times,
much, because it doesn't cost 13 times more to pay those people. It's just profit at that point.
It's just free money that goes to Trump.
But from the point of view of someone who is trying to get Trump's influence, that's how they do it all the time. That's what it all is. It's all playing the field. It's all donating to campaigns, hoping that some of this, not directly, it's not like, here's this money, give it back to me right now or I won't give you the money. It's an investment. Like Buttigieg's whole thing is like the investment circle. They're making an investment that they hope will pay off in the future. That's how money in politics works. And it's not just donated to campaigns, it's also stuff like this. That's why the emoluments clause exists in the Constitution, because you don't want that stuff floating around there because they can't help but say, oh, in Trump's case, you stayed at my hotel, I'm gonna give you a little something in return. Or retaliate, not based on if you stay on someone else's property, or retaliate not in the best interest of the people and national security, but because you didn't stay at my hotel. Like that's the kind of stuff that the nation was designed by the founders to avoid explicitly.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.